I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to start off with a repurchase, and this is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. It's this guy right here. I got the shade again in Cupcake for setting over my entire face because I had gone through the one that I originally purchased a couple months back, and it is just such a really beautiful setting powder. It's what I've got on my skin today. It's just really kind of undetectable, does a really good set, and I feel like it has like this slight blurring effect to it as well. So this guy's got 20 grams or 0.71 ounces of product in it, and I was using it pretty consistently every single day, so I did go through it quick, even though there's a lot of product in there, but I did get the original one a couple months back. So and the powder is made in Italy, so this is the box packaging. There's a little stopper that goes over the screen inside of the packaging as well, but this is what it looks like otherwise. I do like that there isn't one of those big circles in the lid so that I can just dump the powder in the lid and get it evenly on my brush as opposed to having that stopper over the top. So otherwise it's got a mesh screen. I'm sure you guys have heard lots about this powder, but it's just so pretty. So I got this guy again in the shade Cupcake right here, and I like to mix the Cherry Blossom shade with the Flower Nose Loose Setting Powder, and that's actually what I have underneath my eyes, and it's kind of the majority of the time that's what I do have underneath my eyes because it's one of my favorite like combinations. I also bought another one of the Gucci blushes. They came out with new shades, and they actually call these the Cheeks and Eyes Powder in Luminous Matte is kind of the description, but they're a blush, but they also say that you can use them on your eyes. So this guy's got 5.5 grams or 0.19 ounces of product, and this one here is also made in Italy. So this is the box packaging, and the shade that I got is True Pink number 7. They also came out with a new like tangerine shade that I'm eyeballing. So this is the blush that I've got on my cheeks today, and it is the prettiest cool tone pink, and the packaging on these blushes is really pretty as well. I think that this is my fourth one of these, third or fourth one, and they're so easy to use. You can just pack them on and they blend out really pretty. There's a slight bit of a sheen to them, but no noticeable shimmer or anything of this sort. I think you can kind of see the little bit of glow that's kind of in that powder there. But it is such a pretty color. I probably will end up getting that newer tangerine shade as well. But really pretty one there from Gucci. Again, this is what I've got on my cheeks today, and it's number 7 True Pink right there. I also got the new Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Awakening Concealer, and I got the shade 120. There's 0.2 fluid ounces of product or 5.8 milliliters, and this guy is made in Canada. So it's got kind of your standard Makeup by Mario packaging. And again, I got the shade 120, and that is what is underneath my eyes today. This is what the packaging looks like. It is a really nice thin consistency with kind of a true medium coverage. I do find that it kind of sets down a bit, and so I'm interested to see when we get into the drier months if it's going to be a little bit too drying underneath my eyes. But it is super humid here right now, and I think that it looks really good underneath the eyes for having such a nice coverage to it. Again, it's what I have underneath my eyes today, and I just did a swipe under each one and it blended out really nice. And I think kind of blind buying the shade 120 worked pretty well. It's a pretty good shade for me. It's not like super pink or anything like that, but it's a pretty good match for underneath the eyes for me. Like, I think you can kind of see when I'm blending it out like that, there's not a lot of sheen from moisture, like the look of a moisturizing product, so it kind of sets down a little bit. I do put a hefty amount of eye cream around my eyes to really help with the hydration because I've got drier eyes. So that's kind of how I'm saying, like, going into the drier months, I'm interested to see if it's going to look a little bit too drying for me. But right now with the humidity that we're having, I think that it looks pretty good underneath the eyes, and I haven't had any like migration or creasing or anything like that so far. So that is the new Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Awakening Concealer right there in the shade 120. And then Lawless came out with new lipsticks, and these are the Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Satin Cream Lipsticks. There's 0.1 ounces or 3.7 grams of product in here, and these are also made in Italy. I picked up 3 shades because the reviews on the formula were pretty good on Sephora, so This is the box packaging, and I have a combination of 2 of those shades on my lips today, which I'll show you here in a minute. But this formula is pretty thin, but it's got nice pigmentation to it. I don't feel like a ton of tingling or anything like that in the aspect of like lip plumping. And they have just kind of a like a sort of sweet lipstick kind of smell to it, but you really have to kind of hold it up to your nose to smell it. I don't notice it otherwise. And the packaging is like, it feels kind of like an aluminum, a lighter weight aluminum with a magnetic closure there. So let's swatch them. This first shade is Annie, and this is the warmest out of the 3 shades. And I love, love, love the colors that I got. They're such pretty like nude shades. And again, this is the warmest out of the 3, so that is Annie. And then the other 2 shades is the combination that I've got on my lips. So we've got Daisy Girl, which is a pink. Again, this is Daisy Girl. And then a really, really pale pink shade, and this one is Platinum. And so I just wanted to lighten up Daisy Girl just a bit, so that's how I kind of mixed them on the lips there. And I love all 3 of these shades. I may end up picking up a couple more because I think there are some other lighter nudes in the range that I would really like. So we will see about that. I can say these really light shades, because the formula is thin and it feels pretty hydrating on, the lighter ones can settle just a little bit in the lip lines, but all it takes is just to kind of go like that with my lips, and then it blends back out. It's not like it goes in the lines and just sticks there, but that's kind of typical for super light nude shades anyway. But it's not bad. Like I remember, I think the original lipsticks that they came out with, they had some beautiful nude shades as well. Like I really, really loved them, but they said they were thick. They weren't as like a thinner formula like this. They were thicker and they would get in my lip lines, and those were kind of really unflattering. These ones don't do that like the original ones they came out with did. So yeah, this is the combination I've got on my lips again in Platinum and Daisy Girl, and I do really like these lipsticks. So you've got Platinum, Daisy Girl, and Annie right there from the Lawless lipstick range. I also bought the new Too Faced Cosmic Crush eyeshadow palette, and this thing has got the worst reviews online. And I just picked it up inside Ulta, and I can say, like, I think at this point, if you've seen one Too Faced palette, you've seen them all. But this formula is a little bit bland, if you will. The back of the packaging says there's 8 shadows that are 0.03 ounces or 0.94 grams, or 8 shadows that are 0.03 ounces or 0.85 grams, which I don't know how they can be 0.03 ounces each. But anyway, there are 16 shadows in here. This is the box packaging right here. And it does say the palette is bulk made in the USA and assembled in the Dominican Republic. A few of the more recent Too Faced palettes had been made in Italy, so this one is not made in Italy. It's a cardboard packaging. For the price tag, I would have preferred the tin packaging from Too Faced. And then it also opens up with that kind of inlaid cardboard with a little lip on there. So it's not like you just open it up and it's flush on the top like a lot of palettes. They're kind of inside of there. But those are your 16 shadows. So the little squares are the shimmer shades, and then the larger squares are the matte shades, with the exception of Blast Off, which is a matte with a little bit of like sparkle infused in it, but I don't find that any of that really transfers on the eyes. But some of the shimmers are like pretty, but they're very standard. And the mattes, there's just something about them that are, it's a really bland palette. So I did have to kind of build up some of those mattes and blend them out, but again, they just looked kind of flat. And the shimmers, especially with the way that shimmers are coming out now, they just appear lackluster compared to, like, I don't know, like Adept Cosmetics shimmers or something like that. Or like the Odin's Eye singles or Menagerie, you know, they're just really flat in comparison to those, but not everybody likes like super in your face sparkles. So I'm going to give you guys some swatches here, so hopefully you can kind of see whether or not it's something that you would like to pick up. And I'll just swatch these shimmer shades first. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like Too Faced has got the potential, and I just don't know why they don't do it, you know, to kind of get with the times and come out with something different. I think that they tried to do that with this palette, but it just kind of comes up a little short for me, at least. That black is got quite a bit of sparkle in it, but a matte base as well. It's in the smaller square there. So those are the smaller square shadows. And then we'll do these larger pans here. And I can say that the the shade selection, the tones, and the depth of the shades, they did good with the combination. Like, it's a one and done for me. It's got all the proper tones that I like with how I like to do my eyeshadow. And then these guys. I did swatch the new highlighters. They came out with 2 new highlighters in this collection too. And they're just too dark for me. They're also just a little bit more tame in comparison to what I typically like to wear as well. But again, not everybody likes, you know, those blinding shades, both in eyeshadow and also in highlighters. So hopefully that's helpful. That guy there, again, is the new Too Faced Cosmic Crush eyeshadow palette right there. And then I also got the new Pat McGrath Labs Sunlit Seduction Mothership palette. So this is her latest Mothership palette. And when I first saw like the pictures on a Trend Mood and Pat McGrath's Instagram and stuff, I was like, man, I think we've seen those before. And the color story as a whole is something that we have kind of seen before from Pat McGrath. There are definitely some shades that are kind of dupable throughout her entire range, but of course that didn't stop me from getting this. This is actually the palette that I've got on my eyes today. So we've got 19.5 grams or 0.68 ounces of product across 10 shades, which is a pretty substantial amount of product that you're getting. I am surprised that after all this time of the Mothership palettes coming out that there is still a cardboard insert inside the box with the shade names on it, and they're still not printed on the actual packaging. So this is her standard packaging. Another thing that I wish that she would do is change the color or do something to differentiate the packaging from the other Mothership palettes, because especially if you're like me and you have them all, I don't keep them all in the boxes. I kind of wish that I had, because it would have been a lot easier for me to pick which one is which, but it's also an inconvenience. Like if you're like getting ready in the morning and like on the move, you know, to have to pull the palettes out of the packaging too. I just wish that there was an inlay in here of the pretty graphic that's on the box packaging or something. And then I also wish that the names were somewhere on this packaging, but they're not. They're still on the cardboard insert, which what I like to do with that is I trim it and then I glue it to the mirror, and I don't take the sticker that's on the mirror on there, so it's easy to just take it off if I wanted to, but at least that way the names are housed in the palette. It's a whole thing, okay? So this is the palette right here, and again, this is what I've got on my eyes today. You've got 3 different formulas in here. You've got mattes, which are these 3 right here. And then you've got these 4 shades over here, which are not her baked like astral flaky sparkly shades. However, they are really pretty sparkly metallic shades, and I do like those shades, but they aren't those special astral baked shadows that are usually in that section. And then the other formula you have is just kind of a shimmer, which are these 2 right here and then this guy. And this is a standalone for me. This shade right here is great as a brow bone highlight, and I also used a little bit of it on the inner corner in conjunction with this really pretty pink shade. And even though we've seen these shades from Pat McGrath before across her palettes, I think this is a really nice coordinated palette, and I really like the formula and the looks that come out of it. So let's go ahead and give you guys some swatches here. Very little fallout, blend out really well, great pigmentation. Like, I think, like, if you were to compare, like, these swatches compared to that Too Faced palette, I think you can really see just the saturation and interest in the colors in comparison to that, if that helps kind of explain the formula of the Too Faced one a little bit better. But these are just so much more rich and vibrant. And then I'll do these 4 sparkly shades. And they are really pretty. And then these last two. Really, really pretty color story though, right? And again, I know, we've seen these tones and shades from Pat McGrath before, but again, the formula is there and they're really pretty. So that is the new Pat McGrath Sunlit Seduction Mothership palette right there. And it is what I've got on my eyes today. And that's actually everything that I got and that I purchased this week. I do want to make mention of a PR package that I just got as well. Initially, I thought it was their newest collection, but it's not. They're pieces from their last collection, which I do already have. So there's some people in the fam that are going to benefit from these pieces, but I wanted to show it. And this is from Flower Nose. Their boxes are so pretty. I've got a nice drawer here that pulls out, and they sent me over pieces from their Moonlight Mermaid series. I have hauled and swatched all of these products as well. They originally sent me a nice PR package, and then the pieces that I didn't get in PR, I went ahead and purchased. You guys know my love for Flower Nose products. They originally sent me the blue mirror, and in this package, they have got the pink mirror in there. And Flower Nose packaging is just something else. And they are coming out with a new ballet collection. Like, I cannot wait to get my hands on that. And it appears that they're coming out with the loose powders in 3 different variations in the jars. And you guys know how many backups I've purchased of their loose powder from their Circus collection. That's the powder that I've got mixed with Cherry Blossom underneath my eyes today. It's an undetectable, really good set blurring powder. It's just stunning. I've never experienced anything like that in all my time of makeup land here of a powder like that before. So I'm really excited to see if that's the same formulation, because it is a stunning product. But anyway, this is the mirror here, and just to show you how pretty some of their packaging is on their Moonlight Mermaid palettes here. It's just stunning. And they are having a really good sale on their website right now too. I believe it's like 40% off. So if you were looking at some of these products, now is a good time to purchase some of their previous collections, because they do discontinue older collections. I'll show you one of the blushes here. This one here is number 5, Siren Melody. I mean, who wants to ruin that embossing, right? This is my most worn of the blushes from the collection. But yeah, stunning stuff. Very excited. I'm always so excited when I see that Flower Nose is coming out with a new collection, because I'm pretty sure I'm their #1 fan. So a huge thank you to Flower Nose for sending over that PR package. Cannot wait for the new collection. And that's actually everything that I have for my haul today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.